One of the number one reasons why women struggle with dating and relationships today is that they choose men who are not ready for anything real. Ladies, there are lots of great relationship-ready men out here. However, you need to learn how to choose them. I wrote this book to teach you how to do just that. Get your copy of Choose Well, a simple formula to determine the best man for you on Amazon today.
All right, good morning. I just want to jump on really quickly. I don't have a lot of time because I'm actually headed to patient first. My throat situation is not getting better, and I don't know if I have strep throat. My daughter came to visit 2 weekends back, and she said she had strep throat. I don't know if she knew what she had or if she had COVID. So I had her take a COVID test, and it came back negative. But like I said, I don't know. I just know it's been going on for a week, and I need to see about it or get put on some antibiotics or something. But I wanted to make this video quickly for the young ladies, and it's all about protecting your womb. It's all about protecting your energy. It's really sad to me where we have landed when we think about sexual liberation and the sexual revolution. That is most definitely, in my opinion, one of the worst things that ever happened to us, especially women. Women were on the failing end of the sexual revolution, and you are out of your mind if you don't believe that that's true. Good morning. The business bully is in the house. Yeah, you're out of your mind if you don't believe that that is truth. Women are on the losing end of the sexual liberation movement. That movement was not for us or about us, okay? And just because a white male invented the pill, right? He invented the pill, two white men invented the pill, and that now gave women license to have sex. That gave women license to separate sex from procreation. Let's say that. Sex was now separated from procreating. A baby did not have to be the result of having sex. And like I said, that was one of the worst things that could have happened, because it started us on this trend of sex is not special. Sex is not sacred. Like, we started going down this crazy slippery slope that says sex can be fun and recreational and we can do it with whoever, whenever, whatever. And there are no consequences. 90% of the consequences of sex fall on women, and still do. And still do. Okay? The man has, 30 to 60 seconds of pleasure. The woman may be saddled with 9-10 months of carrying a child, another 12 months of nursing the child, another 18 years of raising the child. Like, young ladies, I really need y'all to think deeply about this. And this is the part that y'all don't get. And the men need to hear this too. The moment penis enters vagina, really listen carefully. The moment penis enters vagina, you have given consent to procreate. You have given consent to have a child. This whole idea of, she said she was on the pill, he said he was using a condom. No. The moment penis enters vagina, that's your consent. That's your consent to have a child. So can we stop? Can we all just grow up and stop it? You are consenting to having a child. That's what you're doing. So, young ladies, and y'all get mad when I make these videos for you and about you. You're the gatekeeper. You're the gatekeeper. You're the one who decides whose seed gets put forth and whose does not. All of that is on you. And unless that man holds you down and penetrates you against your will, you decide. You have the power. And yet y'all are still walking around like you're powerless. He got me pregnant. He got me pregnant. No, that's not what happened, sweetheart. You allowed that man in your body. And again, you gave consent, just like he gave consent. So please, please be mindful. Please be mindful. It's not a game out here. And then what's so funny is it's like people want their cake and eat it too when it comes to sex. You want to take away sex, the sacredness of sex. You want to make it, you want to commodify. Some people want to commodify it, right? You all want to say sex work is work. No, it's not. But yet, on the other hand, let your boss come up behind you and touch you on your shoulder. Let your male boss at work come up behind you and touch you on your shoulder and you feel away. Let a guy at work ask you out and you feel away. But oh, sex isn't sacred. And, sex work is work. Right? You cannot have it both ways. Sex is sacred. It was meant to be between a man and a woman who are married. Husband and wife. Okay? So you can't have it both ways. You can't see a man taking you on a date and then getting real reckless at the end of the date. Oh, I'm going to get something. Oh, he tried to force himself on me. But I thought sex was, it's no big deal. What's the big deal? Like, let somebody force themselves inside you. You're going to see how big of a deal sex really is. Let someone hold you down and force themselves inside you. And now all of a sudden, it's the worst thing that could ever happen to you. But it's okay if you meet a man on Tinder and have sex with him that night. Make it make sense. It doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. The way y'all think and how you want your cake and eat it too. You want to play both sides of the fence. It doesn't make sense. Sex is special. It is precious. It is sacred. It is not something that you should just give to just anybody. It's not like walking up to someone and shaking hands. And if I'm being honest, I feel the same way about kissing. I feel the same way about anything sexual. I don't know you like that. Y'all already know how funny I am about swapping bodily fluids. So no, I don't know you like that. But it's like women today, you want to play on both sides. You want to play on both sides of the fence. And that's just, no. Either it is special and priceless and sacred. You don't let every man into your secret garden. And then you have all the power. You have all the power. But because you don't want to be responsible or accountable, you want to put it on the man. Well, he said he had a condom on, or he said he wasn't going to, ejaculate inside of me, or he said, no. Like I said, I keep telling y'all, stop trusting these men that you ain't married to. The man I trust fully and completely is the man I'm married to, period. Other than my father, other than my grandfather, right under them is the man I'm married to. Y'all out here sleeping with these men you're not married to. And now that's lost all its, charm. Being married has lost all its charm. Everybody's running around talking about, no, I don't want to be married. I don't want to get married. Marriage is not that big of a deal. I'm not, okay. Keep talking that. But please protect your womb, protect your body. Y'all are out here screwing like HIV is not a thing. You're out here having sex with random people you barely know, like AIDS has been eradicated. Like, that's what's wild to me. You think because you have some new medication that puts you at undetectable levels that, what? And for somebody who was raised in the AIDS era, like I came up, it scared the living daylights out of me. I was scared straight watching these documentaries about AIDS and HIV. And y'all out here acting like it ain't a thing. It's not a thing anymore. Like, we good. We good. HIV has been, but it hasn't. It hasn't. It's still a thing. So please, ladies, the prevalence of you catching an STI is much higher than a man. Our bodies are made different. The prevalence of you, getting pregnant is all on you. Like, yeah, the man's, he can technically get up, walk away, act like it didn't happen, as many of them do. There are men right now that I know personally. When I say, can you remember every single person you had sex with? I asked some of my male friends this, right? Do you remember every single person you had sex with? They're like, if I'm being honest, no. I'm like, wow. But most women can tell you a little something about every man she laid down with. But men, they like, no, I don't remember. Especially in college, or especially, when I was doing this or doing that, I don't know. So that's how much it means to them. Like, that's how much it means to them. You think it's that men see sex the same as women. They don't. They don't. They are built different. And you think that you can do anything they can do. You can't. You can't. It's different. We're the receiver. The man is the giver. It just is not the same. So we got to stop acting like it. Women want to be men so bad. So bad. And yet you have so much power that you don't even realize you have. You give all your power away. So please protect your womb. I've been talking to my daughters about this, and one of my daughters is on the depot injection, and I told her, she wants to get off of all birth control, all chemical birth control, which I support. But then I also said, okay, you got to be abstinent. You need to abstain. That's playing Russian roulette. Like, you need to abstain. Okay? And here's the reality. There's really only 3 or 4 days out of the month that a woman can get pregnant. But she's not going to track her cycle like that. You're not going to do the work necessary to track your cycle like that. That's something that I would approve of if she was married. Right? That's, again, you're playing Russian roulette. That's a game that you can't afford to lose. So I said, look, you need to abstain. You need to tighten up, right? She's been in 2 relationships, but I'm like, you need to abstain. And I'm talking, I need you to take a break from relationships. Like, you good, unless that man is your husband, do not play those games. But I'm seeing too many women out here that are willing to take that chance with a man they barely even know. That's what's wild to me. You barely even know him, and you're taking chances like this? Yeah, no. I'm like, I've dated men for 5 years, and I'm like, and look, they be funny, right? I had one guy I dated for 2 years, and something came up, and he was like, well, don't you trust me? And I was like, I'm not married to you. I know he was like, I said, you know my husband? And he was like, what? He looked so surprised, but yo, I'm just being honest. Like, if we are not married, if you're not my husband, okay, that's who I give my full-on trust to. My daddy, my granddaddy, and my husband. And the Lord on high. That's it. Like, what's the confusion? You're not my husband. That's the man that gets all my respect, all my trust. But a dude I'm dating, like, yeah, we got to go to a different level with this. So that's it. But every woman needs to understand, you've been sold a lie that you can go out here and have sex like a man because you're on the pill, because you're on the shot. It don't work that way. Women's feelings get involved. We are entered. I feel a way about that, okay? A man entering me and disappearing. yes, I'm going to feel a way about that. That's not just something that happens and I'm like, oh, well, like, ew. So please, just please listen to this, take it to heart, please, because I'm seeing too many young women. I'm trying to catch the women between 18 and 30. That is, those are the women that I feel most concerned about. I feel like they don't get enough motherly, grandmotherly, auntie type attention or advice. Those are the women that I want to try to catch because, man, when you don't, and they get out here in these streets, it's not a good thing. It's not good. And I got women that are in my school or that I coach or that I counsel. They're 30, 35, 40. And some of the stories I hear, y'all, some of the stories are not good. And here's the thing. You can't go back. You can't go back. All you can do is do differently and move forward. So, and I'm going to encourage women to do that. I know, let me clear this up because I've had some women be confused about this. It is a red pill talking point, and I'm going to say this, it's a red pill talking point that, a used woman has no value, right? That's a red pill talking point that, if the woman is used, okay, she has no value. I would say this, just because a woman had sex with a man, and preferably if that man was her man, like her boyfriend, I want women to abstain, period. But let's say a woman met a man in college, that man was her boyfriend, they dated for 5 years, and she had sex with him. And that relationship ended. Okay, is that woman now like completely worthless? Like that, so a man shouldn't marry that woman. Like that's what I'm trying to understand. Because in some regards, that's all of our story. We dated in high school or college. We may have had a boyfriend or a girlfriend and we had sex with that person. We had a relationship with that person. And to say, okay, that relationship ends, now that person's used. I can't be with them. And unless the woman is a virgin, like, come on, y'all. We know that's definitely not the case in 2025, but that wasn't even the case in 1986 when I graduated high school. So I think that we are this red pill talking point. It's like lumping everything, everyone and everything together. I think that's the conversation that has nuance. And to say the woman has no value, she's not a virgin, she has no value. Should a woman be out here sleeping with everybody and then be no, that's different. But if we're being honest, plenty of men, most men, can we be really honest? Most men date and marry women who are not virgins. Okay, most men. That's most men. You all see value in a gently used Rolls Royce. So if the woman is a Rolls Royce, but she is a gently used Rolls Royce, you still see value in that woman. Okay? So let's be honest. I hear that talking point. It does kind of like, it grates on my nerves because I'm like, men are saying that, but they're not doing that. Like most men are dating and marrying women who are not virgins. Okay? So I hear that talking point and it's like nails on a chalkboard because we know rationally and logically that's not the case. Most women have had sex. So if the only man that I had sex with was my husband, so I married my husband, I had 3 children by him and we go on to get divorced. Okay. So I am now like, I am ineligible to be remarried or I'm ineligible to be in a relationship. Like, yeah. So that conversation has nuance to it. And like I said, I think it's a red pill online manosphere talking point because if we're being honest, most men meet, date, and marry women who are not virgins, especially today. And like I said, that wasn't even the case in 1986 when I was graduating high school. There were women in high school, and again, I met my first boyfriend, dated him for a year, lost my virginity to him. And so if that relationship didn't work out, so now the next man is like, oh, Anita's used. I can't, like, no. No. So that conversation needs nuance. That's the one that I'm just like, I can't fully get behind that. Now, I'm not telling a man to go out here and wife up a woman who is, a well-known, like, person to sleep around. I'm not saying that. But yeah, if she had a relationship before you and it was a real relationship, like, okay, that's most of us. And women are getting a whole lot of used men. So yeah, I think we all getting something used. Like, to some extent, we all getting something used. My ex-husband, like I said, when I met him, he had been married. He had married at 19, 20 years old. He was in the military. And he didn't have any children, so that was a plus because I didn't want a man with children. But he had been married. So he was used. So that conversation needs nuance. But what I'm telling women today, abstain for as long as you can. Do the best you can and abstain for as long as you can. It's one thing to have a relationship with a man that you love, that you cared about, that you wanted it to go somewhere. You wanted to be married. And in that relationship, you had sex. To me, that's totally different than a woman who's never been in a relationship, never really loved a man, had a man love her. She's just out here sleeping around with men. That's totally different. Totally different. Renata Dinab says definitely they are told that they can just go to the clinic and get the treatment and go back at it again long as they want to. It's just awful. Yeah, it's just weird to me how younger Gen Zs, I mean, I'm going to be honest though. See, they weren't raised in that AIDS, HIV epidemic era. I was, y'all, I was horrified. I was like, oh my God, we're all going to die of AIDS. Like, I was horrified. And that very much imprinted on my brain. So like I said, that's why I'm kind of weird about bodily fluids. Cause I'm like, like, I'm good. I'm just weird about that. So, but Gen Z, I talk to my kids about that. I show them documentaries. I show them stuff about HIV and AIDS. And they're just like, oh, wow. Like, it doesn't land, but no, you get raised in that era and it is no joke. That is nothing to play with. So again, that is still a thing. And the only thing that is different is they've created a cocktail where you can live longer. So it's not an immediate death sentence. You can live longer. And then now they have this new thing where it's undetectable, but it's still a thing. Like, I still don't want it. Can I be honest? I still don't want it. So please be mindful. Please be mindful. In a perfect world, I would like to see everyone abstain. I would like to see everyone wait and have sex with their spouse, their husband or their wife. It is very much an imperfect world, but at least have a standard that you're going to know this person. You're going to love this person. This person's going to love you. You're going to get to know them over time. You're going to vet them properly. And if you're in a relationship, okay, but my goal is to be married. My goal is to be married and be seriously committed, like seriously committed. So that's all. All right, y'all, have a great day. I'm slowly losing my voice, so I may go a couple days where I give my voice a rest, but have a great day. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for the supports. I can't say that enough. I got to get around to putting people who are they're members of the channel. I got to get around to putting their names up because I'm going to start doing that. So I got that on my list. I appreciate everyone who supports the channel, every single member. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Going to start making more members only content. But I hope you have a great day. And as always, stay open to love.